Jesus drank wine, and his very first miracle was to turn water into wine. But was he ever under the influence of the spirit of drink? Truth for Today by Mrs. B. Well, in our culture, we often go out drinking, or young people do, and older people too, for a different purpose. We go out to just socially loosen up with people. And as we loosen up, we don't realize that actually liquor gets a hold of us and tightens its grip on us. In Paul's day, the culture was different again. When they drank wine, quite often, yes, it was at a wedding and things like that, but often it was in a spiritual setting. It was in pagan rituals. They would mix wine and drugs together, and they would just dance in frenzies to their god. It was actually called entheos, which means in, and theos meaning God, in control of a god. The god the Greeks and Romans worshipped was actually the god of wine. So they would just dance and just sexually go crazy. And that was their culture. So when Paul says, don't be drunk with wine in excess because it leads to debauchery, but be filled with the Spirit. He contrasts these two things, the Holy Spirit and wine. So if you contrast and compare them, let's do that. Let's compare them first. Both of these things are outside ourselves. The Holy Spirit, we invite him in. Wine, we take it in fleshly. So we have outside sources coming in. And once they are invited in, they control us. Then they control our mind. And it controls our actions. So they are very similar. But how are they contrasting? How are they different? Well, drink blurs your mind. Once you've had some, your inhibitions go down, you don't really think clearly. The Holy Spirit makes your mind sharp. Wine makes a fool of you. Have you ever seen a pretty drunk? That's kind of gross, right? It makes you foolish. The Holy Spirit never makes you look like a fool. The Holy Spirit makes you wise, to make wise decisions. A drunken person can also be irresponsible, irrational, and often their actions lead to sinfulness. But a spiritual person, when they're completely controlled by the Spirit, their actions are supernatural, they're winsome, and all their actions are praiseworthy. Can you drink? Yes, you can. I don't think we can say scripturally you can't drink. But don't be drunk, and is it wise? Do you even want to start? Because if you start down that path, drunkenness can be the end result. And drinking never leads positive. Wine talks, but the Spirit walks. So make your choice wisely today in concern to alcohol.